Hey guys, how you doing? This is Universe again. This is another episode of Serving Up Comics. It's good to see everyone. This episode is airing like 1 week after our last one, so we're brought together again pretty soon. And joining me as always is Nick Valero. Nick, how are you doing?
Good, man. Shot feels good. I ended up getting a chance to watch Coming to America.
Oh, you did? Yeah, I saw it last. It dropped one day early. I saw it as well.
Yeah. So it was pretty good. It was fun.
Cool. Yeah, we'll maybe talk about that later. But our guest returning this week is same as last week. Our good friend Rob Godinez. Rob, how are you?
I'm doing good, Gene. And I didn't get a chance to watch Coming to America because I had 5 Zoom meetings yesterday.
Well, but it dropped like just randomly like the night before, so caught you unannounced. Was it for was it like do you do like was it for like teaching like meetings, or is it like a parent teacher conference sort of thing?
Yeah, no, I had I'm counting my classes. I had my classes, then I had a help session.
Cool.
And then we had a meeting about, possibly reopening.
Okay.
And then I had a basketball parents meeting because long story short, a lawsuit got settled and we might be able to play basketball, and I don't know if that's good or bad.
Okay. Well, let's just try to follow like all the CDC guidelines. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to convince them to live stream them, and I will instead of coaching, I will do play-by-play from my living room like all the broadcasters on ESPN are doing right now.
Oh, dude, yeah, I feel like you've done the announcements before for basketball games.
Yeah, I used to do the announcements. Now I'm coaching, but this one I would do play-by-play, so live, actual calling the game.
Nice. So like,
let's hope.
Yeah, so you'll be like.
Then I'll actually have something to plug on here.
Hey.
Yeah, like catch me on Twitch or whatever.
Yeah, I'm arguing for Twitch so that we could also raise money for the basketball program.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Hey, chip in $1 every time we score. Congratulations, we raised $10 today.
Yeah, that's not fair. You don't raise like $5 a game. That's not fair.
I mean,
we can't. It would be more if we can't stop anybody. We usually score. We just, defensively we're horrible. Anyway, wrong podcast.
Yeah, I'll still be rooting for you guys regardless.
Where he's bad at his defense.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, we were already talking about stuff we were reading last week. Yeah, I don't know if anyone really read anything like notable in the last like week or so, but
not too much.
Yeah.
some bad homework assignments, not that.
Oh, okay.
You know what, Godinez, I didn't believe like how bad our homework could have gotten, and then I started helping Justin read his English papers that he gets from his teacher, that he gets from his students. God, I hope we weren't that dumb.
I accept your apology, Nick. I accept your apology for not believing me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of mine were that bad, but
hey, you can think that.
I assume that's why Father Way used to drink a lot of wine while he was grading papers.
Exactly. No, that would probably be about right. Yeah.
Yeah. His box of wine.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I haven't gotten to anything that's like of note. No good manga, no good comic books coming out this week.
Yeah. Everything I'm reading is like either delayed or whatever from DC, like Strange Adventures, or it's just waiting. So yeah, we'll see. But I guess this will bring us to our topic of Batman the Animated Series, our rewatch of that. And I had 2 episodes for you guys since we wanted to go into WandaVision. But first up is It's Never Too Late, and if anyone's pondering, we're doing the order in which the episodes aired originally. So yeah, if anyone is also watching with us, please check that. So yeah, this episode, first appearance of Rupert Thorne, who becomes a big player in the series. He's in like multiple episodes, pretty much. And yeah, it's like finally seeing him here. He's like one of the big bads, like Roland Daggett, also is a big presence in the series. And this episode, it wasn't really a Batman episode. It was basically like focusing on the gangsters of the Batman universe. And I was pretty interested in this because it gives them a lot of nuance too. Like they're not just like black and white. I'm not sure if you guys. There's like a YouTube clip where there's like when Batman like encounters this like henchman in one of the movies, and he sees Batman like investigating something, opens the door, sees Batman there, looks at him for a second. Batman just does the glare, and then he quickly closes it. Another henchman asks him, like, "Oh, hey, what'd you see?" He's like, "Nothing." Just keeps walking.
So, that's I believe that's Mask of the Phantasm.
It's one of the films, but yeah, I don't know. I always like how they portrayed a lot of the henchmen, a lot of the like number twos in this series.
Well, that was the one thing that they kind of did wrong inside Batman '89 was the fact that you had all these like big like superheroes, like supervillains. Some of them weren't the best. I mean, you had like Eggman and stuff like that.
Whoa. Eggman is excellent. Okay, calm down.
Speaking of which, Burt Ward actually makes he talks about it in the episode where Eggman captures Robin, and apparently Adam West kept fumbling his line when he kept walking in, and it's a scene where the Eggman is just cracking eggs on Burt Ward's head, and he goes, at a certain point I thought Adam West was doing it on purpose because he kept walking in and he's supposed to be throwing eggs at him, and it's cracking on his face.
Yeah.
And then he would go, "Oh, I fumbled that line. Let me go do it again.
I almost get the feeling that Eggman came out of, they went to Vincent Price and they're like, "We want you to play a villain." He's like, "I'll only do it if I get to play Eggman." And they're gonna be like, "There is no egg." And wait, it's Vincent Price. Go right, Eggman. Go right.
There will be now. There is now. Yeah. But that was the thing, though, is that like you always had these like really kind of interesting villains, some not as much, but the goons you never heard from.
Never.
We're just super disposable, which I think this is once again, like we talked last time, they did a really great job on getting these smaller villains or even goons and just kind of giving them a story and going, "Oh yeah, this is what they did today."
Not to take us on another side tangent, but if you've ever listened to the Thrilling Adventure Hour, they have one of their old-timey radio plays is called Captain Laserbeam. And it's like an old radio in the Batman 69 series, 68, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And there's this one reoccurring henchman who works for every henchman. And in one episode, he starts going, "I worked for this guy and this guy and this guy, and they all got caught. And sometimes you got to ask yourself, is it me?"
It's true.
Yeah. Sure. I love in DC or Marvel, whenever they just like give a spotlight on the henchmen, it's just like in Iron Man 3, he's like, "You know what? I don't even like these people. They're fucking weird." Just walks off.
I don't like these people. They're weird.
Well, the ultimate take on that is if you ever read Invisibles by Grant Morrison, where early in the series, the Invisibles kill one of the evil henchmen, and like 30 issues later, it's a flashback to that random guy who was in 2 panels, his life leading up to him being killed. And it puts it all in perspective. And the whole point of Invisibles is we're fighting a war we don't need to be fighting. Both sides are generally the opposite of the same coins. We don't need to be do this. But that's the issue that brings it all home. It's like, here's a guy who had a life, he had a wife, he had kids. He took this job literally because he couldn't find another job and he needed to provide for them.
Yeah.
And then it's the clerk's argument about the contractors on the Death Star, right?
Yeah.
Like they're just trying to feed their family. And this anarchist comes in and shoots them in the head,
Well, I mean, they were working on like a Battlestar station that could like destroy whole planets.
Every contractor knows that you got to pick your job correctly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying there's not another side. I'm just saying that's kind of the, kind of the issue.
Yeah,
all stormtroopers don't know how to install a toilet.
Yeah,
if they were civilians.
Yeah, like for my contracts, I'm like, I'm not gonna work for like, something like the Daily Wire or something like some garbage place like that. Got to be ethical about your, where you choose as a contractor.
No, absolutely. I would agree with that, but it does bring home that point that not everybody on the other side has the same motivation.
Yes, that is true. That is true. But
yeah,
I don't know. For this episode, it reminded me a lot of because it is Batman. It is this series is inspired by a lot of like noir, particularly a lot of like 30s and 40s movies. And if you look at like all the backdrops of the city, like it's weirdly both in the 90s and then also in the 40s. But this reminded me of a lot of old movies. So like Scarface, Public Enemy, The Public Enemy, I think it's called, and It's a Wonderful Life for some reason.
Well, I think the way they described it, especially the noir of the actual television show, is that it wasn't that it was in the 90s or in the 40s. They were trying to mix both of them, so that way the show was kind of timeless. You could say, oh yeah, there are kind of like retro 1950s cars, but they have laser guns, or they have they have like big blimps that like fly around the city and everything like that, or
which don't exist apparently. Police blimps, if no one knows, they're not a thing. So,
no.
Yeah. Even though
it'd be really hard to do those high-speed chases in LA with the blimp.
Yeah, can you imagine the OJ chase with a blimp?
That one could have kept up with the OJ chase. He was going slow.
Oh, okay. That's true.
What was he going, like 20 miles an hour?
Yeah. It's the guys who are hitting 100 that are gonna dust the blimp.
That's true.
See,
yeah.
The nightmare thing is if somebody tried to shoot the blimp, then we got a problem.
Yeah.
I really believe the police blimp just became a thing so that the cops could have like coffee while they're like, look, I mean, that's it's kind of the only reason.
It's like the worst. It's like the worst position. I don't know who the fuck. What did they do?
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was like the whole point of it, is that it was supposed to be timeless. It was supposed to be so that way, you really couldn't pinpoint a time period that it was, but it had the feel of the 50s or the 90s.
Yeah. And it absolutely nails it. It's less of a city and a setting and more of a mood.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Like, and then it also has the kind of the backdrop for a lot of like DC comics of the red skies. I'm not sure if there's a couple episodes where you see red skies, even though it's not a
crisis.
It's not a crisis. They're just like they just like the aesthetic of it.
It's like the hardcore superheroes are battling a crisis. Batman take down this mob boss.
Yeah, exactly. Red skies mean. What was the Rob? What's the reason for the red skies being red? Like it's just.
I think it's the bleed between the multiverses is kind of coming through. I think that was it. That was the explanation last time.
Oh, okay.
That's the bullshitium that they came up with on why it's red.
That's we bought Wildstorm. The Authority had the bleed. Let's use the bleed. We'll say it's between the multiverses. Bam.
Yeah, there you go. They're gonna change it again too. So.
Oh, of course,
yeah,
of course.
That's what always happens. But yeah.
But with hyper time, you can change it, so we're okay.
Yeah, but for this episode, it was also interesting seeing Batman just like a supporting character in his own little series too. Like he's basically kind of, I guess, Clarence, like It's a Wonderful Life. He's just kind of like this darker guardian angel almost, right? Mm-hmm. So that was interesting. And yeah, I don't know, the fact that it's also like it's kind of a PSA, but it's not like too over the head either. It's just like just enough touch to show you that being in a life of crime is bad, like being on excessive drugs is bad. And like kids don't do that, but Batman's not gonna like talk to you and say, hey, was it like the more you know, like at the end of G.I. Joe?
Yeah.
He'll just like show you the facts.
I think we actually talked about that last week, right? Like the moral wasn't beat over your head. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They did have the mom use the closest thing to he learned it by watching you.
Yeah.
The mom kind of does use that line, but it's it's pretty good. It doesn't, go into too many details. You see the results of what happens, when you abuse drugs, and they went with it, and that, wasn't even the main plot of the storyline, but
because that's like the B plot too with the kid.
Yeah, and it wasn't even what convinces him, right? He sees his kid, then he still tries to kill Batman.
Yeah.
Catholic guilt was the real hero in this one.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the priest.
It's true. It's true.
He's like forcing a confession out of him. He's like, I know you sinned. It's like, give me that confession.
It's very true.
So I thought this was a pretty good episode. It reminded me a lot of I think Denny O'Neil sort of tales as well, that sort of era.
Green Arrow, with Speedy. And he finds out his ward is doing drugs.
The Junkie, the famous cover.
Oh god,
And then you see Green Lantern, and he's just like, "This doesn't involve me. You guys deal with it."
Yeah, I think it's like black.
Looks like on that cover. On that cover, it looks like, "Oh no, you're doing drugs." And Green Lantern's like, "Oh shit, I walked in on a bad time."
Oh man,
Green Arrow's like, "Oh, I forgot, I had a dinner reservation."
Well, in that comic, doesn't he just like basically drops him off like in front of Black Canary's house? It's like, hey, He's like, hey babe, can you take care of him?
No one's gonna beat the illness out of you except for Black Canary and Black Cat.
Yeah.
Well, when you read that Green Lantern, Green Arrow run, it's really about Green Arrow trying to show Green Lantern what's really going on. You're this cosmic policeman. Here's what's going on in your streets. But this is the turnaround where it's, hey, also look what's happening in your own home.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
before you start throwing some stones.
It wasn't even that though. It was, be concerned about the world, but also take care of your family.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Don't lose that through everything. And then, not to get kind of serious, but like that's been my attitude during like the whole pandemic quarantine, right? Like one of the reasons I haven't had that mental breakdown is because I know how to shut off what's going on outside my door and just be like, hey, my family's doing cool. Yeah, everything out there sucks right now. But I can't complain too much because, hey, my family's doing good. Let's cherish that, spend time with them, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I was just going to say, just that series is Green Arrow, Green Lantern. Yeah, everyone should read that once because that's brilliant. Because, just, the progressive kind of identity of Green Arrow gets established. And I wouldn't say like Hal Jordan's like aloof, but he's just kind of like off in space. It's not until like Hawkman starts like lecturing down, talking about Reaganomics, that Green Arrow gets really mad.
That would have been a debate during the 80s I would have loved to see.
Yeah, Hawkman voted for Reagan, totally.
Yeah. We're going to have a liberal economist versus Hawkman.
Yeah. But now Hawkman's like libertarian now. He's like, I'm not like those other Republicans.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you're immortal, you can be libertarian.
Yeah.
You do too much legal drugs, you come back. You shoot yourself with your too many legal guns, you can come back.
Mm-hmm.
I have no issues with libertarians who are also immortal. I get it.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, just the ones that are like, oh yeah, I don't like both sides, but still like cater towards Trump. Those are like, those are the worst because they're conservative and they just need to say that they're conservative.
Exactly.
But this was a great episode. That leads us to Joker's favor, which is.
Real quick, I just want to point out, I told you this before we started recording.
Yeah.
I believe all organized crime movies, no matter what time they're sent, the henchmen must carry Tommy guns.
They have Tommy guns in the anime.
I don't care. I don't care what year. Scarface, Tommy guns. Modern organized crime, Tommy guns. Just we need to.
Yeah.
Well, I think also it's really interesting though, because I know that when I was watching the documentary, they said that they gave them Tommy guns because it would be hard for kids to imitate them at home.
To imitate, so like to find a Tommy gun.
Yeah, like like where do I find a thing that looks like a Tommy gun in my
Okay,
house?
take your speak and spell. Attach it underneath your toy gun. You got the circle there. I'm just saying, kids are creative.
I'm just saying, I use Legos.
Yeah.
It took me probably like 45 minutes, but I did it.
But yeah, you can't imitate that. What was it like for the Fantastic Four series in the 80s? They had to replace the Human Torch with Herbie.
Yep.
Because they thought kids were going to imitate lighting themselves on fire, which never happened.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
that we know of.
That you know of, yeah.
That we know of.
If we set ourselves on fire, it wasn't because we were being the Human Torch. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
That's all I can say according to the court documents.
There you go. But yeah, Joker's Favor, that's the first episode where chronologically the Joker appears. I think maybe like the first produced was like the Christmas one. But this is the first time we as fans heard Mark Hamill as Joker. And I really love his Joker. It's one of my favorite performances of him. And then just the iterations of the Joker, because his Joker, like I'm trying to think of like the versions before this. We have like Cesar Romero, who's like, I love Cesar Romero, the fact that like he didn't want to shave off his mustache, so they just put the makeup over it. Brilliant. It's the Joker from like Super Friends, which I don't really remember, and then Jack Nicholson. Well, and I guess my hot take is that I don't know, the Nicholson Joker, it's good for the movie, but I really disagree with the origin, that version of the origin for Joker, where he's like already kind of evil and warped, and then he gets even more evil. So, but yeah, Hamill's version is like just it's funny, it's lively, it's all it's sinister as well. He has like such a dark side to him for that character. And I don't know what like comic that you could think of that's like similar a lot. Maybe like the Joker from like Death in the Family. He just like trolls Batman. I'm not sure if you guys remember in Death in the Family when him and like Bruce Wayne meet in the United Nations and they just stare at each other. And then Joker, and you get the impression that he knows that he is, but Joker just laughs because, again, Joker doesn't care that he's Bruce Wayne, even though he probably knows in most iterations. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the Hamill Joker, guys?
My biggest thing is I would have loved to like even like kind of see a clip of Tim Curry's Joker.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Just because, just to kind of see what Tim Curry did, and also just to kind of see what his take was. But for some reason I feel like it would just kind of sound like it.
Oh, like like his Pennywise.
Pennywise.
Oh, yeah.
His Pennywise.
I haven't thought of that.
Yeah, like that's what I was assuming, that it would just kind of sound like his Pennywise.
Mm-hmm.
But for Mark Hamill's Joker, I know that Mark Hamill even said, he goes on the casting sheet, it specifically says, do not think Jack Nicholson. Don't do a Jack Nicholson impression.
Yeah.
Because no one can be Jack except for Jack. Don't even try. And so I think that's kind of cool. That's really fucking cool. I also think it's really funny that Mark Hamill didn't think he was going to get the role.
Yeah.
He thought other people were going to get it, so he went in there, did whatever the fuck he wanted, and then came out and they were just like, "Yeah, we really want you." And he goes, "Fuck, what did I do?"
Right? Yeah.
And then proceeded to screw it up because he kept trying to think. No, just kidding. I think a couple thoughts. Like, first of all, I hadn't watched in a long time. I had forgotten how much it still sounds like Mark Hamill.
Mm-hmm.
How you can hear it in him.
You can hear Luke. You can very much hear Luke.
But I think too, this kind of goes along. What I like about Joker as a character is all the various depictions, even in the cartoons and movies and everything else, go along with my favorite theory of Joker, which is Grant Morrison's, that Joker constantly reinvents himself.
Mm-hmm.
That he constantly has different personas and different sort of methods and stuff like that. And that same explanation plays out across all the other media, right? I think the one weakness of Jack as the Joker is you can never forget it was Jack.
Yeah.
That's the only downside to it. And, not Jack's fault. He's Jack, right?
Yeah.
He couldn't have said, no, I can't do all these other great movies and be courtside for the Lakers all the time because I have to do this Joker role, right? But no, I think Hamill's Joker is sort of, I think, the blend of my favorite Jokers. He's a planner, right? Joker has always been a planner, regardless of when they talk about chaos. He's always a planner.
Yeah.
Chaos is the cover. The fact that he keeps this guy on this, he remembers 2 years later, hey, this dude owes me a favor.
He wrote it down somewhere.
Hilarious.
That was the best part. The best line is, how did you find me? I never lost you.
Yeah. I
was
like track of you this whole time.
Yeah. And so he has the Joker. The thing to remember is, Joker, and everything kills or harms a lot of people depending on how far you can get away with it in whatever medium it is. But if the Joker can use you to kill and harm more people, he won't kill you at that moment.
Use you. Yeah.
You're a part of a bigger plan to cause more chaos.
Or I was just going to say that, if he doesn't think it's funny, he's probably not going to kill you. So,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And of course, first appearance of Harley Quinn.
Yes.
That is like one of that's like one of the greatest things as well. I love the idea that Paul Dini and Bruce Timm are just like, yeah, he needs a fucking friend. He needs someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Well, because every single time inside of in any other medium, Joker is just talking. He's just talking. It works because he's crazy, but for the most part, he's talking to some form of minion.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, I don't get it, boss. And it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, they're just terrified of him too.
Yeah, it's like I'm only in the Joker gang just because if I don't, Joker's gonna kill me.
and the dental plan.
And the dental plan,
The dental plan.
Joker's so wild that he would have a dental plan,
Right.
Was it like what's that one Captain America Batman crossover? He's like the Red Skull. It's like, oh man, I don't like Nazis. Like I'm an American criminal, goddammit.
Yep, exactly. There's got to be somebody's got to write a series, and it could be an indie where henchmen unionize.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. But Rob, what was your first impression of Harley when you watched the series way back when?
Well, the thing you got to remember, because they don't go into her backstory, it's the first appearance of the Joker. You don't know if she's going to be a major character. So my first impression was like, okay, she's cool, but I didn't think we were going to see her again as a main character. I didn't know we were going to go in to her backstory. To me, it was just kind of like you said, Joker needed somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
And let's have a henchman who's a little different than the other henchmen to sit there and bounce ideas off of and throw things at her. And so, Harley's role doesn't really get, you don't know she's important until later.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
She could have been a one-off character. She's Urkel. They put Urkel on once, and
then
he was on every week, and now Urkel is part of the Suicide Squad.
You could have had that. But she was like one of the 90s mainstays. But and then too, this episode just seeing Joker's just this whole mindset you get in one episode, just that whole the fact that this guy kind of Jokers him, and then pulls the whole plan apart, that's brilliant too. That's how this Joker rolls. So I thought it was a pretty good episode.
I feel like this Joker is one of those, is also the same kind of thing where it's I don't know what he's going to do. Yes, Joker has a plan, more or less.
Yeah,
but
more or less.
He very much is a wild card.
Yeah.
he very much is a wild card, and I think that's a very interesting take on the Joker. But yeah, like if you were to compare like all the Jokers that have been, I think it's probably what Hamill, then what is it? Then Heath Ledger, and then Joaquin Phoenix. Probably like if you were to go like your top 3 of like the 6 that have been done.
Yeah, he would be up there for sure. Yeah, like I think Ledger's is still my favorite. Definitely not Leto. Like that's I still can't believe they brought him back for Justice League for the Snyder cut. You know, he's like
next week.
Next week, we'll yeah. The one thing Zack Snyder was like, you know what, I need the Leto Joker. Like, that's gonna do it. That's gonna make this movie brilliant.
You know what fixes it? Just take away his tattoos. That's it. So fixes
they kind of did, but then like he still says like kind of cringe lines in that trailer. Like, what does he say? We live in a society. That's
yeah. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, we'll see in like 2 weeks. Or not see, because I don't think, Rob, you're not going to see it.
Look, if I want a Mystery Science Theater 3000 something, I'll watch it.
Okay.
If my blood pressure dips below normal healthy levels, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Probably not, though.
See, I was thinking about making a drinking game out of it, seeing as we've already seen at least 2 hours of it.
Yeah.
And just going, all right, cool. Every single time this happens, let's just drink.
Yeah.
And eventually it'll get good like Batman and Robin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
just make it a good 4 to 5 hour Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you can drink for 4 or 5 hours continuously, but I'm going to try.
Yeah. That is, to be honest, that is the first time I've actually seriously considered watching it.
There you go.
Yeah, just make a drinking game. Like, I think we made a drinking game out of Amazing Spider-Man when that came out, the second one. Nick, if you remember,
yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, that was a terrible movie. But yeah, Batman the Animated Series. Yeah, these 2 episodes were pretty good. We're gonna keep watching the series as these episodes come out. It's gonna be a cool rewatch. So keep listening and keep watching with us. So WandaVision finale came out last night, midnight. Rob has just seen it. I saw it at like 1 a.m.
I saw it at 1 a.m.
Yeah. I think I waited for a bit because I knew the servers were going to crash. I knew that was going to happen. And sure enough, everyone reported trouble like downloading it. You would think like the biggest like media empire ever would have like a better, I don't know, like streaming service or just like interface or what, because
it's not necessarily just that. It's the number of people that are all at once on like registering a single client. So basically they're activating. It's a lot of stuff, but it's not as easy as it sounds.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as like, it just sounds like, oh yeah, flips on, flips off. Like it's a lot harder than, most people would think.
I prefer to believe that Wanda was using her powers to prevent us from watching it.
Yeah, right. That was marketing right there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Good marketing.
But going right into it, like what are our thoughts on the finale now that we've seen it? Like what, did it live up to expectations? It certainly did for me, but yeah, I want to hear you guys' thoughts.
My biggest thing about it was I felt like it was a giant band-aid.
Okay.
It was okay, we killed Vision in Infinity War. How do we bring him back? All right, cool. We'll do White Vision. We'll do the whole White Vision thing. White Vision and Vision fight for about 5 to maybe 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, cool, you're regular Vision now. Remember everything. And then he flies away. You're just like, all right, cool. Yeah, and then like Agatha kind of gets beat with her own like tactic, and I was like, okay, well, I guess that was the end of that.
Yeah. But
I mean, the whole like catharsis thing, that was pretty cool. I just thought like the whole battle between the 2 bads, like the 3 big bads that were inside of the show, that was kind of over very quickly.
Yeah.
Like they were able to like kind of solve everything very quickly.
Right.
That was my only complaint.
Yeah, and I think I would go with, like, to me, the battle wasn't the story. The story is Wanda and her coming to terms with grief and the trauma she'd suffered.
True.
There's part of me that wants to troll every message board saying, why do we have to change Vision's color? Why does he have to be white? You know, because they do that with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
With Miles Morales. So why does Vision got to be white now? No, I loved it. Yeah, the battle could have been a little more drawn out, particularly with Agatha. I do like that Vision realized, hey, we're the same. We're evenly matched. We're not going to beat each other physically.
Yes.
So I have to come up with another way. Line of the year to me, the goosebumps came with kids, take care of the military.
Yes.
Tommy and Billy.
That was a good scene.
I love that line. No, to me, it was an absolutely satisfying show on the premise of, we're dealing with trauma, we're dealing with letting go, we're dealing with loss, and the effects that loss not only has on you, but on those around you. When you project your loss onto those around you, they suffer as well.
But the thing is that you can kind of argue that Wanda didn't learn anything. Like, yes, it helped her move through her grief, but if you watch all the way to the end credit scenes, it kind of looks like she's trying to fix whatever she did wrong.
Right.
Like it's not like, that wasn't good. I understand what I need to do now. I need to move on with my life. Now it's, oh, I fucked that up. Let me try again. Let me learn how to use my powers, and I can try something else. I can bring them to life.
To me, that's an open-ended question, because because the other argument is she's trying to learn to use her powers because when she didn't, this calamity happened. Yes. So I need to know how to control it.
Yeah.
So it's a possible open-ended question. If we're going to skip to that last scene, she seems shocked that she hears her kids' voices screaming for help. So I don't necessarily think she was searching for them. As she was learning about it, she goes, oh, they're still out there.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So, I mean, it could go either way on that. And, if the next Wanda is, okay, I'm going to bring him back, but better now, I would totally agree with you. And it'd be I'd kind of be torn because A, damn it, I was wrong. She learned her lesson. But B, that's kind of Wanda in the comics.
Right. Yeah. Pretty much, she always
constantly does that.
Yeah. I mean, she's not a bad person, but she certainly makes a lot of mistakes, which,
totally.
Very human character for sure. But yeah, I was just going to say that, for full on spoilers, I mean, everyone is binge watching the show. If you haven't seen it by Sunday, I'm like, what are you doing? Just go watch it now and then come back. But yeah, I was really impressed by this series. I think the finale, like Nick was saying, I wouldn't say all the blockbuster sort of fights and showdowns disappointed me, but I think a friend said some of the effects or stuff kind of looked like CW sort of I don't know, like a Disney Channel original movie.
Hey, you don't talk shit about the CW. The CW is beautiful. It's amazing.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it kind of looked a little Disney Channel like, but I don't know, it worked enough for me. And I was just impressed by just the amount of time they spent on Wanda's grief, how they showed her basically going through the 5 stages. The emotions of this series really impressed me, and that stayed with me more than these effects don't look good, whatever. But yeah, I was really impressed by that, and I'm looking forward to seeing where she goes in Doctor Strange, because the fact she has a code name, she's a Scarlet Witch now, she has a costume, and she has the Darkhold, the book, and she's studying to control her mystical powers, is that's a very interesting place. And also Vision too. I mean, he's still alive. He just forgot who he was, I guess. The White Vision, they were both almost a part of the same soul. And yeah, just to see where that character is going to track, or where we're going to see him again. Is he going to be in like Young Avengers or Doctor Strange? I have no idea, but yeah,
that scene got me, the goodbye scene with WandaVision.
Oh man, yeah.
When he asked who am I or what am I?
Mm-hmm.
And also just, playing off the tropes, series finale, Wanda goes to turn off the light. You're thinking every sitcom ends with, Sam Malone turning off the lights to the bar,
Mm-hmm.
Fresh Prince turning off the lights in the house, right? And then immediately another light comes on. I thought playing around with that trope was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that scene, I'm not gonna lie, that scene took me a little while to get over. Like the actual physical goodbye and putting the kids to bed and walking away and knowing what's coming next.
Mm-hmm.
That's super heavy stuff. And I just thought that part was really well done. I think, acting wise, say which one about the battles and the special effects. I think acting wise, people pretty much nailed their roles all the way through.
Yeah, Elizabeth Olsen, like she's great. Like she's like Carrie, and all the other actors are great too. Like from everyone, like Agatha Harkness, the actor.
Oh, she deserves a nomination.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say if she deserves a win, but
right, at least something. Because
going from over the top sitcom neighbor to evil witch villain in like a scene,
right?
It was just really well done.
I actually am really excited because it's one of the few times that Marvel didn't just go, cool, let's kill her. So we can't use her for other stuff. And I'm really happy that, she's just like, yeah, if I ever need you, or ever have any questions, I know where to fucking find you.
Yeah.
You'll be here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit of I guess like kill your villains problem with Marvel. Like who are the only ones left? It's like Abomination,
Loki,
Red Skull, kind of.
Justin Hammer,
yeah.
Well, I mean, the other thing you gotta remember, Marvel, we can bring villains back to life if needed. Right?
Yeah, just a parallel universe. Right.
Yeah. Parallel universe. I mean, not even parallel universe. We could always find a way for every. There's a Darkhold. I'm sure we can reanimate the dead.
Oh yeah. Marvel zombies.
Oh God.
Because what Zemo is going to be the next villain, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. We'll talk about that later because that's the next Marvel Disney Plus show. Yeah. But before we talk about this a little more, we had some tweets that people, listeners, tweeted at us when we asked them, tell us your WandaVision theories before the finale. So I'm just gonna read some from Harrison Bruckwell at @playchampion underscore. We are either seeing Reed Richards or Mephisto, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Well, neither, but
I'll be honest, I'm more satisfied that Mephisto didn't show up at all in this than any other aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like, get over Mephisto, guys.
Right. It was never in the cards.
Fetch. It's like Fetch. Stop trying to make Mephisto happen.
Yeah. At Jacob Knight _JK said no direct Mephisto, X-Men, or Fantastic Four because that's outside the scope of the show. Everyone will be okay and Wanda will get a therapist. Vision's alive. Monica flies and everyone is fine. Yeah, you kind of got that right.
No therapist yet, though.
Yeah, she does need one.
No, the therapist was the Darkhold.
Maybe it could be Dr.
God.
Strange. He's still a doctor.
Well, like I said,
see them inside the quantum realm. She's like on a couch. He's just like, oh, so tell me about your feelings.
Yeah. We have at Marcelo J. Pico said there will be some cool fights. There will be no big reveals. There will be closure for several characters. There will be a setup for a season 2, possibly a cliffhanger. Some of that was right. Yeah.
Yeah, some of it.
Some, not all.
Yeah. Once you saw series finale as the title, I think, the season 2 cliffhanger kind of went away.
Yeah, I think season 2 is never going to be a thing. So
no.
like Fetch. They should stop making that happen.
Well, I guess the thing is too, remember, like the Marvel universe is an ongoing story. Maybe there's no WandaVision season 2, but you know the themes and the characters will show up somewhere else.
Yeah, like in spin-offs, like all the Norman Lear shows.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that was the whole point of what was it, Doctor Strange?
Right. Yeah, this is like a prequel for it, basically.
What? I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the Norman Lear show. So Vision owns a dry cleaners.
Yes.
Yeah.
And moves to the east side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then you have Different Strokes.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that one.
We had one from Matt Green.
Tommy and Billy get adopted by
my god,
by a rich white man.
Oh god, what you talking about? At Emperor OTN1, Matt Gringo from the other shows. People will be mad about it for the wrong reasons. Well, he was kind of right there. Kind of right there. There's some fans that are mad, but it's, they were never going to get those reveals. Let's be clear.
I just have a fantasy that there's so many people out there right now rewatching. Where did I miss Mephisto?
Yeah, like where
did I miss him?
Yeah. And we have Matt Belismo, at Matt Belismo. Wanda looks directly at the audience, quickly whispering, "No more nerds. Reality is rewritten. YouTube no longer exists. There is peace."
That would have been amazing.
Yeah, that would have solved a lot of problems. Gamergate gone. A lot of problems.
That being said, the enrollment at my school drops to like 5.
Oh man.
So I need a new job.
Yeah. We have 2 more at Master of Magnetism at Master _ Magnet. Vision is going to merge with the Pale Vision and live again. One's right there.
Yeah, kind of.
But there will be a negative to this act to balance it out. And somewhere, Ultron drones spark to life. Because Cthulhu is kind of a dick like that. I don't know what that means, but yeah, we didn't see Ultron. Ultron was a big fan theory, but we did not see Ultron. So I think, besides that name drop, it was never going to happen.
I almost view a little bit, this is going to be a weird tangent, but I think the Marvel series are going to be like modern professional wrestling. You're going to get some stories told on your weekly shows, but if you want to see the big reveals and the big events, you got to pay for the movies for that. And that's the pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
We'll carry out a story and we'll take you to a climax, and that climax will be played out in the movies.
Right.
Where you'll have to drop a little more money.
Yeah.
I mean,
good analogy. I mean, they're kind of, kind of like the WCW.
Yeah, I mean, but with that, I mean, this is because if you look at it, I mean, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I mean, it also is dealing with bigger stakes.
Yeah,
more or less. Like you're dealing with Zemo, you're dealing with the identity of the who's going to be inheriting Captain America's shield, who's going to be are the Sokovia Accords going to be held through, just kind of a bunch of different things.
Just to throw in real quickly before we jump to talking about that, I was talking to Gene before. So my theory that I had for about 10 seconds as I was watching it, when it cut to Wanda's post-credit scene in the wilderness in a cabin,
right?
I thought Wanda had fled and become a lumberjack.
Like Dexter.
Like Dexter, yes. I thought she was going to be cutting down wood and wearing flannel. And no, my original theory was I thought the last credit scene would be her knocking on Doctor Strange's door and saying, "Teach me. I need to learn."
Right.
Which I think will probably get in the Doctor Strange movie.
Right. Yeah.
Something
she's going
like
to be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That end credit scene, that was I really enjoyed that because there was a mid credits and an after credits, so it's like we got to see a Marvel.
It's like a real Marvel.
Yeah, exactly. What are they without that? But one last thing we got from Jose Ariana, Howard the Duck was behind it all along, which he's not around. He's just in Guardians, or he pops up randomly in Endgame. So Maybe we'll see Howard the Duck at some point, but I'm a fan of his.
Hey, if multiverse, if they do open up to other Marvel movies, let's remember we had Howard the Duck in the 80s. We can bring that Howard in too.
Duck World.
I'm just saying, all you could do is just Howard the Duck was there during the fight with Thanos.
He was, yeah.
After winning, he was like, this is kind of a cool place. I'm gonna hang out on Earth.
I believe, did you guys hear they snuck him in? I think the Russos did not know. It was like some visual effects artist put him in there, which is just
really?
like, yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of Marvel artists, correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, in a lot of the events, they sneak Howard the Duck like in splash pages or whatever.
They definitely try to. And if you didn't read Chip Zdarsky's Howard series, do it.
Yeah.
Read anything Chip Zdarsky writes, but that one it's hilarious.
Right. So any last thoughts on WandaVision before we talk about the future of the MCU? I thought this perfectly sets up where we're going to go in the Marvel universe. We see the Skrulls. They want to see Maria Rambeau Photon in space. Nick Fury is like asking for her. We'll probably see more of her in Captain Marvel 2 or in Secret Invasion. We'll see. But yeah, this really sets up where we're going. So I thought that was cool. I did have a question. What was everyone's favorite sitcom growing up?
Oh, Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle, okay.
Oh God, this is a tough one because probably my favorite one is really problematic now.
Oh, okay.
It starred a famous comedian who liked Jell-O.
You like the Cosby Show?
Yeah. If I have to go away from that, though, actually no, I liked it more than Cosby Show, even though I didn't get all the jokes when I was super young. Cheers.
Cheers. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers is a good one.
My dad taped back when kids when there were VHSs and all that. He taped every episode of Cheers, so I could binge Cheers before streaming and binging was a thing.
Nice. Is there a place to binge Cheers right now?
It was on Netflix for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen like a full I know I've seen episodes of Cheers.
Right. I've seen a lot.
I've never seen the full thing.
At one point I could give you every normism. When he walks in the bar and his one-liners, at one point I had all of them memorized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that one Simpsons episode where Homer's like looking for all the bars and he like stumbles into the Cheers bar and they're like they freak him out, he has to leave.
I'm a government teacher and a history minor who went to Boston and was walking along the Freedom Trail seeing all these great sights and then saw the Cheers bar and that was the highlight.
Yeah.
That was good. But I was just gonna say I think probably my favorite, and I think that's just because I remember watching it the most is probably like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince is great. Yeah.
I would just go with that one because that one I just always remember watching at my grandma's house or something. So
well, I feel like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is also the one where it ages really well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like it ages super well. Like Malcolm in the Middle, it kind of doesn't age all that well.
No,
I rewatched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when it came out on streaming recently.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max.
Yeah, and I was like, oh wow, these episodes are still really relevant. Like there's still like a lot of heart to them. There's still there's it just holds up. It holds up.
Right. Like I think like Jazz says when he's in court, like the police officer's like I think
you put your hand down
he
now.
puts his hands up and like
he goes, no man, cop with a gun. I'm gonna get 5 warning shots in my back.
Yeah. And I think
that's the line.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like the audience like laughs and then they stop laughing or like in that scene, but yeah.
And look, there's not a person who hasn't watched it. The mention of how come you don't want me, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it's everybody.
That's a powerful scene.
Yeah.
And then it's aged so well. And then too, like Will Smith isn't feuding with the first Aunt Vivian anymore. They're good.
I'm glad they've settled that. That was And it's one of the only shows that went meta at the time too, before meta was a thing, right?
Yeah. What does he?
Yeah.
Does he tell her? He's like, "You look different. Did you like do something to your hair?"
Well, there's a lot of.
And then Carlton running through the set.
Yeah. There's a lot of times that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air would just know, like, yes, we're a TV show.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that I'm a TV show. There's plenty of times that Will looks at the camera.
Yeah.
There's plenty of like, it's all over the place. So just like, yeah, this is a TV show. We know about that. Like, we know what this is.
Yeah. Definitely rewatch that on HBO Max. It still holds up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Winter Soldier and the Falcon comes out, I believe, in 2 weeks. We'll talk about that on the next few shows.
Actually, comes out on the same day as the Snyder Cut.
Wow. Okay, was that planned?
Oh, I was gonna watch the Snyder Cut, but I only have time to pick one of them.
Right.
Yeah, they both come out on the 18th, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to that. Because I really appreciated WandaVision being so. I think it does relate to Phase 3 because this is like all the grief in Phase 3. Because people go through a lot of loss in Endgame, and this is like kind of the epilogue of that. So it worked, but for like the future of Marvel and like where like the whole universe is at, I think Winter Soldier and Falcon is really going to cover that because you see like the whole world and the politics of that.
Yeah, no, I think what I hope and what WandaVision showed to me is that they're going to take the similar approach with their TV that they do the movies, in the sense of we're going to tell a full story in this series that you can watch and you can enjoy. And there are going to be some things that set up for later.
Yeah.
And if you want to keep doing it, you can keep doing it.
Right.
And as long as they continue to make each series satisfying on whatever its own level is, like you said, Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be, more larger Marvel Universe stakes. That's fine, as long as it's satisfying on that level too. And, again, haven't burned my trust yet, so I don't see why I would stop now.
Yeah, there you go, man. Yeah.
Thor: The Dark World got close.
Yeah, but at least like Thor: The Dark World, like that's, I mean,
that was also before we kind of knew this was going to be a thing.
Yeah,
it's true.
We didn't know how they were going to pull everything off at that point, so there was no reason to be disappointed yet.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, any thoughts on Winter Soldier, guys?
It's going to be interesting because I think it's going to be like this. I love the idea that it's going to be a buddy cop TV show.
There's a lot of like sexual tension too. I guess like when they're at therapy and like, can you guys like sit up, like, can you like face each other?
Yeah, face each other, look each other in the eyes, like, and then they started doing a staring contest and everything like. But the thing I really do like is that it's kind of like, no, but Steve's my best friend.
Right. Yeah.
No, but Steve's my best friend. And they have this like weird like couple thing of like, well, both of our best friend, we both have a mutual best friend.
Yeah.
That doesn't make us friends.
Yeah. I mean, they're trying to honor him,
Yeah.
It's coming back from college and your college friend hanging out with you with your high school friends.
Yeah.
And the tension that's underlined because you're all trying to get along and you might actually think, oh, these guys are cool. But there's still an underlying tension. And, it would be interesting. Obviously, Steve isn't there most of the time, but it'd be interesting to see them constantly try to bring up inside jokes just to show, oh, you don't know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On your left.
Falcon be like, it's on your left. And then just look at Bucky.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean?
Yeah.
To the end of the line.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to just like the buddy cop of this and just seeing those two characters, and also just seeing the Falcon take up the mantle of Captain America because we know he will. And just kind of also, I guess, the political sort of problems that they're going to talk about, the fact that like most likely, the shield, the government gives the shield to like a US agent, John Walker, which is, they pass up the Falcon for, a white superhero. So just kind of.
Well, I think it's also going to be this thing of the Falcon still hasn't signed the Accords,
right?
So he's still technically a
fugitive. That's going to be
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Will there be a scene where a white woman reports Falcon for having Captain America's shield?
Ugh.
Like he's saying he's Captain America.
Yeah. It's a Karen. It's just a Karen.
Or a Karen, yeah. Or like Breitbart News trying to like talk crap about the Falcon.
See, but here's the thing though.
He was wearing a tan suit.
See, but here's the thing though. If there is going to be a Breitbart News, I really, really, really want it to be Jonah Jameson.
Well, so like I guess like the Daily Bugle, which I really disagreed with. It's but it's already over. I guess it's kind of like, unfortunately, InfoWars. They made it very InfoWarsy. So
that's how they made it InfoWars.
Yeah. I love the fact that Jameson in the comics just hates Spider-Man.
Right. He doesn't hate mutants. He doesn't hate superhero. Well, I'm sure he doesn't like Daredevil or something, but like he doesn't like. He likes the Avengers enough. He just doesn't like Spider-Man, and he's not
anti-mutant. Mm-hmm. He's not like, he isn't bigoted in that way, but it's just Spider-Man,
right?
And I would have loved if anybody was going to do it, it'd be Zdarsky. The reason is Jonah hates spiders. Like that could have been the ultimate reason.
Yeah, it changes so much.
Yeah,
in the comics, I can't even pinpoint why he doesn't like him.
But, for a long time, it was because a lot of the other superheroes didn't have secret identities.
Right.
He didn't like how Spider-Man hid behind a mask and could be anybody. And if you're anybody, that means you can do anything and you'll face no punishment.
Yeah.
Which made sense, Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see if, I guess, I don't know, Jameson will pop up like in Morbius or Venom too. I have no idea. But yeah, I guess that wraps everything up. I'm looking forward to more Marvel. I'm sure you guys are.
I'll say the one I'm looking forward to, again, Kate Bishop is my favorite Marvel character of all time. Yes. So the Hawkeye series is the one. I'm going to watch everything else. My expectations are for Hawkeye just because that's...
Love Kate Bishop.
Love Kate Bishop.
Yeah, she's Young Avengers too, I guess, whenever that happens.
Oh God, yes, please.
Yeah. But Nick, where can people find you at social media?
You can find me on social media, the Nick Valero on Instagram and on Twitter. Not only that, but also you can find me on some guest appearances on Delta Monkey Gaming on Twitch.
Nice.
There we do, which for the most part, we play video games and try to have some good laughs while a buddy of ours, Jaron, Delta Monkey, goes ahead and he plays some video games and tries not to suck. So
tries.
Yeah, tries, definitely tries.
And Rob, where can people find your MySpace?
Yeah, no, actually, I'm on Parler. No, just kidding.
Oh no, God, no.
Oh God.
I'm on Friendster now.
Oh, okay.
I'm on Friendster now. You can catch me there. Be in my circle. And,
how is AOL? How is AIM these days?
My AIM screen name is Little Spider Boy X69.
Nice.
Because you had to have the X in the 69. If you had name in my day.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Alternating caps, lowercase.
Yeah, we'll add you there. But you could find me on Twitter and Instagram, G9892. You could follow the Waffle Press at the Waffle Press on Twitter, at the Waffle Press Podcast on Instagram. We're on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and we're on Patreon. So please like, share, subscribe on all the socials, and on all our listening pages. If there's something you like, might be something you like, something you don't like, still follow anyway. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We've been professionally unprofessional.